everybody's long-awaited Mizuki Akemi Resident Evil movie tier list. I will put the ones that I have not seen and have not seen, so do not worry. I will not be ranking those. I will be ranking them in accordance to my own Resident Evil rubric, which you will see on the screen. Number 1, bows make sense. Bioorganic weapons makes sense. 2, must be campy. They're kind of campy. 3, have accurate Leon. 4, umbrella mention. Umbrella. That is just, I can spell. Mention. There you go. These are my criteria. These are my criteria. This is the law. I decree it. Nobody point out my spelling. Stop. Mizu has very high standards. I do. The highest standards, if you will. How many Resident Evil movies are there? According to my calculations, 12, plus the other standalone series and Welcome to Raccoon City, which are other live action things. We're starting off with the live action movies. We'll get those out of the way first. First Resident Evil live action movie with Mia Kavadavidish is Peak. Okay? It's Peak. It's campy. It gives us that cool laser scene. It does not have, as of my knowledge, I don't believe it has any of the original Resident Evil characters in there. It was kind of its own standalone thing inspired by the Resident Evil series. It's its own standalone thing in my brain. And I really like the original. I like the character of Alice. It was campy because of the AI robot girl. No Leon. Well, I have a gripe with that also because, oh, we'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. Don't you worry. I have words. I have many a words. The first one is not a bad movie. It's not a bad film. Whenever you go into it and not expect it to be like, oh, it's gonna follow the games, because it's absolutely not gonna follow the games at all. But yes, Peak Resident Evil. It's campy, it's good, it's gory, it's scary, it gets me with some of the jump scares. She's iconic. The laser scene is iconic and gets, I would say the same thing with Apocalypse, actually. Apocalypse was the second one with Jill Valentine, I believe, where it gives us Jill and it gives us Nemesis, which was fun. I love seeing Nemesis. That made me very, very happy. I liked Apocalypse a lot. Anyway, I liked it. It was great. That being said, what the fuck was this movie? I'll be so for real. Why are we in the desert? Why are we Mad Max Fury Roading? Why are there crows everywhere? Why is Claire in here? Why is this more The Walking Dead than it is Resident Evil? It does not hit the mark for me, Chief. It does not hit the mark for me. It doesn't fully make sense to me. I don't get it. Left it being like, I have no idea where it's going to go from here. I've never really been a fan of more like desert kind of settings. Unless if it's like, you know, The Mummy or something where it makes sense. It felt less Resident Evil and more monster/zombie survival. It was missing something. And then it had just Wesker coming in every now and again with his Neon Genesis Evangelion ass type room. Afterlife though, I think I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as these two. No, I can't tell you what that one's about because I don't remember it fully, but I do remember liking it. I do remember being like, okay, this is fine. Slightly memorable, but also not fully, like, it's not fully Resident Evil. It was kind of like missing something still. And then we'll get into, oh god. I think this is the one that's, anyway. I have a gripe with how they decided to introduce the actual Resident Evil characters into the series. Because they introduced Jill really quick, they introduced Carlos super quick, they get Chris and Claire in there. Tell me why I had to wait 5 films to see Leon, just to have Leon be in it for maybe less than 30 minutes? Want to tell me why? I was so excited to see him. I fought my way here. I feel like I was just there, and it was just not what I wanted it to be. I did like some of the concept stuff, like her living like her dream life and then being like taken away from it, and it's just like that was kind of like fun. That was fun and different. Then it gets to everything else that happens in that film, and I am like, I have no idea what the frick is happening anymore. Where am I? Where's Leon? In the Arctic. I feel like most of the time I see him, he's in snow. And then when he's not in snow, he's leaving his comrades behind? I'm fairly certain that's what happens. He's just like, we gotta go. The only thing that saves that film is Mia, because she slays her role no matter what they give her. She just keeps coming back. And she's ends up my favorite character, even though we have Resident Evil characters from the games and the movies. And I still like the character that's not even canon in the games, in these live action movies. But yeah, that's where I stand on that one. I have not seen the end of Resident Evil. As I said, I will get to it at some point in time, but I haven't gotten there yet. And it's the same with Welcome to Raccoon City. Can somebody tell me why Beck from Victorious is playing Leon Kennedy? But as far as I can tell, Welcome to Raccoon City is retelling Resident Evil 2 storyline. That's what it looks like anyway. But also not. In the end of the day, I don't know, because I haven't watched it yet. And now we get into, I'll also put the random Netflix series here. I remember trying to watch it way before everything, but I hear nobody who likes Resident Evil ever talk about this like Netflix series. I'm gonna assume it wasn't The Last of Us worthy, so therefore I will not take it. You know, if you're gonna present me a video game, movie, or TV show, it needs to be on Sonic the Hedgehog or The Last of Us level. If it's not like those, I will not take it. I don't make the rules, but I do make the rules. Getting into the animated movies. It does not have Death Island on here, but I have not watched it yet, even though I said I would, because I got too busy playing Marvel Rivals, because one of my friends was like, Mizu, can we play Marvel Rivals? So I went and played Marvel Rivals with them before I had to go. So I did not end up watching Resident Evil Death Island, but I still really want to. Anyway, we're gonna do Degeneration. Y'all wanna know what I think about Degeneration? I did not really like Degeneration compared to the other Resident Evil animated film/TV shows, because okay, there's a lot happening. I didn't feel like Umbrella was in this at all. It was more like two pharmaceutical companies fighting over warfare. The only thing that I did like was like the storyline with like the brother and how he had like a genuine reason for being there, and I'm like, oh, okay, this all makes sense. What I didn't like was this random girl coming in and there was just like a whole like forced romance going on, and it felt really awkward. I feel like if you want to do a romance in a Resident Evil franchise, you have to do it with pre-established characters. Leon did not feel like Leon in this movie. Leon felt more like Wesker in this movie. The only reason it is up higher than my F tier is because I really like Claire's character in the whole thing. I had no issues with Claire's character. Claire had these funny one-liners. We have Damnation. Damnation, I'm gonna put here. I really liked it. I really liked Damnation, but I liked others more above it. But I will say we get Matthew Mercer Leon, so it's Leon with all of his personality. There's so many funny little jokes in here that he says. I don't know if it was written in the script or if this were things that Matthew Mercer actually like improv'd in there. It was really good. I really loved his performance in this. It was campy, it was strange, it was all about like government stuff in a different country. Is that the movie with the tallest character? Oh boy. Where do I even start? We have two girl bosses in this movie, technically. The whole villainess, but we have a villainess in this movie. We genuinely have a villainess in this movie, and she's like the president, Madam President, destroying her own. I'm gonna save this one for last, even though chronologically it's the next one to go. But I just have a lot to say about it because you will see why. We're gonna put Infinite Darkness. It's going here because I liked other things more than Infinite Darkness. I liked a lot of Infinite Darkness. The only thing that I think screwed it over is the ending. I really love this whole idea of it. I really liked it being more of a kind of true crime story with the added zombies, and I didn't feel like the new characters were rushed in their introductions. Like I felt like I got to know everybody. They introduced some new things that I haven't seen before. Like the rats were kind of crazy. I was like, whoa, that's new. I haven't seen rats yet. So it's nice to see like them changing it up a little bit. Leon is Matthew Mercer Leon, so he has the Leon spirit, the Leon soul. But I liked a lot of it. The only thing that I genuinely think screwed Infinite Darkness over was the rushed ending. The ending the pacing was terrible. I feel like that final fight was way, way, way too easily won. To where I'm like, where is my campy Resident Evil explosions, and where's my crashing vehicles and grenades and other incredibly crazy stunts? Now we're gonna talk about my favorite, Vendetta. Vendetta is perfect. If I want to get somebody into Resident Evil that does not want to play the video games, I would show them this movie. Here's what it checks off on the list. The bioweapons. It makes sense, but it also improves upon them by making it make sense and making the viewer make sense. It all makes sense. Like they explain, like to me, like I'm a 5-year-old. Animation is wonderful. Holy cow. Amazing. The bioweapons are really cool because they take the concept of mixing 2 viruses together to make it into a stronger virus to let somebody control the bioweapons. But not like through how Damnation makes you control the bioweapons by injecting yourself with something. It was more like simple to that. It was more like they could tell like comrades. It's also Umbrella mentioned because he's apparently the leader of Neo Umbrella. So, we got Umbrella in there. Has accurate Leon. I'm going to talk about the camp factor first, and I'm going to talk about this villain. Because this villain, okay, it's something I would expect out of Resident Evil. Like the game. I feel like could also feel like he's in Dead Rising. But I digress. But this guy basically, he's kind of like a black market arm dealer, and he pissed off a bunch of governments by being, you know, part of black market's arm dealing. And on his wedding day, he pissed off one of the governments so bad that they decided to like absolutely nuke his wedding. And it's like, what the frick do you mean nuke his wedding? He decides, you know what, the world is a cruel place. It's better for me to live among the dead. So that's why he's doing what he's doing, not to mention trying to get his dead wife back. And it's just like, oh my god, this is nuts in the best way. I love this. There's like so many layers to where it feels like a lot of it was done with so much care. I also desperately love this combination of characters, because if you sat me down and was like, Mizu, there is a Resident Evil movie where the main 3 Resident Evil characters that are paired up are Leon Kennedy, Rebecca Chambers, and Chris Redfield, I'd be like, no, what? No, that's not real. Well, it's real and it's in this movie and they work so well together. I think they are so funny together. I had so much fun watching this pairing of like agents fight. It gives me the same joy as you know in like the JoJo All-Stars like fighting game where you can like pick to be like Caesar and fight against Gyro or something, and they have these little interactions in between each other. That's how I feel, you know? But like seeing it happen, it's like, this is so cool. What the hell, dude? Like, I want more of this. They're so funny together. It was literally Rebecca Chambers taking care of her 2 himbos. Like, one's more depressed than the other. But you know. This is also the one where they fully tap into alcoholic Leon, which was fun. Oh, it has my favorite fight scene. Oh my gosh, wait. Like, the reloading. Like, look at this! You cannot tell me this isn't perfection. The absolute amount of bodies that is left behind is nuts. This is where my list stands. These at the bottom may change depending on when I see them, but this is the official Mizusama Resident Evil movie tier list. Everybody listening, everybody taking down notes.
da 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 da.